country music is real. I think it's authentic. I think it's truth. I think it is not filtered and not trying to be anything more than what it is. And so I think that country music is a safe place for a lot of people in a world that has seemingly gone crazy a lot of the times.
Let's talk a little bit about your music. You've only just released your debut album, Smoky Mountains, over a month ago. So can you tell us a little bit about your album?
Yeah, this album has been kind of a long time in the making for me, and really signed a record deal 5 years ago, and so really kind of spent the last 5 years growing up and trying to figure out who I was as an artist, a songwriter, as a man, and wanted to create a record that felt like a record and that reflected that a little bit. And so I think this album is 12 songs. It gives kind of the fans the biggest glimpse I've gotten to show so far into who I am as an artist and what they can expect from me, which is a lot of storytelling and a lot of honesty. And so it's been cool that the record's finally out. It's cool to see it connecting with fans and see the live show just get that much better with new music out.
Mm. Which songs are you most excited about to play live from this album?
Roulette on the Heart and Meanwhile in Carolina have seemed like the songs that the fans are kind of gravitating towards the most. And then live, songs like Heating Up or Baby I have been really fun ones to put in this set. And so, there's a lot. We wrote this record to be played live, so it's cool to kind of see that translate.
So for people who haven't heard your music yet, how would you describe your sound?
I'm a storyteller at heart and a songwriter at heart, and so I hope in everything I do that the songwritership or whatever word works in English comes through, and so I think it's very kind of has a cool traditional country element that also is infused with kind of the modern country I grew up on, being only 23, and so it's kind of this brand of country that feels unique to me, and really excited that the fans have kind of connected with it because it feels like a new thing.
So if we go back a little bit to the beginning of your career, is it true that your mom used to work in the country music scene and that inspired you to become a country musician yourself?
Yeah, she kind of had a window into it without being fully into it. Essentially, she would kind of be your job. She would interview songwriters and artists, do red carpets, #1 parties. And so for me, I got to be around. And so I was so young, 6, 7 at the time, growing up in Nashville. And I got to be around those artists and those writers and kind of see what it looked like to do it as a job and make a career out of it. And so that was kind of what inspired me. And she was always, both my parents were always massive supporters and kind of encouraged me the whole way. And so it's cool to see it all come full circle now.
And you've also used to play baseball quite a bit. And I've seen this photo of you where you're like in the Little League.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you say, I want to become a country musician when I grow up. So is that something that you, from that moment on, that you had that influence from your mom, wanted to do and, wanted to always become?
Yeah, it was just always the thing. It was always the dream. It was always the goal. It was always what I was doing and working towards, and not in a way that was like, I was grinding, but in a way that I just loved it so much that I did it every single day. And at the same time, I was a big baseball player. Grew up playing baseball all throughout till the end of my high school career. And then, I played in the League World Series, and there's this video where it ended up getting played on the Sports Center on ESPN. But it's me talking about wanting to be a songwriter when I get older, and I was 12 at the time, and so it's a funny video.
So if you would have had the chance to become pro at baseball, would you have rather done that, or was it always songwriting?
No, absolutely not. I picked the right career path, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And you've obviously achieved so much since then and quite made the name for yourself in Nashville. So what is an achievement that you've been the proudest of?
There's been so many. I think the proudest achievements are always the one off the stage, and that most people probably don't see, of just kind of who I'm surrounding myself with and decisions I'm making day in and day out. But there's been those key moments that I've really gotten to celebrate. Recently, we just got our first top 10 on country radio in America, and hopefully we'll keep going up the charts. And then playing the Grand Ole Opry, which is just the most historic venue possible, that was a really big deal for me and my family. And so those are a couple of the moments that kind of come to mind. And we just recently sold out a venue in Nashville on the day that the album released too. And so all these little moments we just get to celebrate how far the dreams come are always a really proud moment for me and my family.
So your song I Hate Alabama has gone viral on social media. Is that something that means a lot to you or not so much?
I mean, sure. People always ask me now, do you really hate Alabama? And I'm like, well, I love them now. They made me, they gave me my career. But yeah, that song changed everything for us. And I think really early on, it was just kind of as a new artist, it was kind of something that allowed us to be known for something, right? Whether you loved or hated that song, it made you ask who was singing it. And I think as a new artist, it's a really big deal. And so, yeah, seeing that song do what it did on social media was wild. And people always kind of point to that. And it was such a fluke thing for me that it's I don't even calculate it in the storyline, but it really was. And so that song is still, so much of our fan base is due to that song even now.
So would you say that social media is important for artists nowadays, or especially country artists, to promote their music?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the biggest platform possible. You have the world at your fingertips, and so it's a really big deal. I also think as an artist, to truly be an artist, there has to be some sort of healthy balance with where you're getting validation and what you're seeking to attain through that. But I think every artist is on their own journey with that and figuring that out. But it's definitely a platform and something that, you are foolish to not utilize.
Yeah. So we feel like country music has become very popular during the last few years. So what do you think are some reasons for that?
Yeah, I saw a statistic the other day that the Billboard charts, 8% of country music attributed to the Billboard charts in 2022, and then in 2023 it was like 20% of country music. So to see, 100+ % jump in country music is pretty wild, and probably pretty unheard of. But honestly, I think that the world is crazy, and I think that I think as the world gets crazier and crazier, I think people long for tradition and for simplicity and for lack of a better word, kind of the good old days in their minds a little bit. And I think country music captures that. I think country music is real. I think it's authentic. I think it's truth. I think it is not filtered and not trying to be anything more than what it is. And so I think that country music is a safe place for a lot of people in a world that has seemingly gone crazy a lot of the times.
Yeah. So now here at C2C Festival, I feel like all you country musicians from Nashville are such a tight-knit group. At least it feels like that.
Sure.
What does it feel like for you to meet all your people that you know from back home here in Germany and bring country music to, all over the world?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, country music is definitely like a high school, and so it's weird to see your high school friends in a different country. But it's a lot of fun, and I think everybody, they've played a show last night. This is my first night tonight, so I don't know what I'm getting into, but I've heard such amazing things from everyone who's been here before, and I'm excited to kind of bring my own tradition to that.
Are there any shows that you are particularly excited about that you want to watch?
Yeah, this one tonight, Berlin, was a big one for me, and then I'm really excited to get to Ireland and see that culture out there. But those are the two ones that come to mind.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you very much for talking to us today. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate y'all doing this.